Today we are doing a video, kind of half vlog, half just like hang out. Also, because today's video is somewhat angel themed, I was trying to like put myself on a cloud background, so it's kind of working. I'm kind of like in the heavens. Today I am getting a tattoo from Marjo Ulrich. She is a amazing tattoo artist. I actually just found her. I was looking at her work and I was like, oh my god, like this is perfect. Like she has this really interesting, like it's really intense black and white work, but it has sort of like a softer touch. I'll put her art here. And as you can probably see on the screen, it is going to be of this a little angel guy. I've been calling him a him just because I think there should be more boys with flowers in the world or something. Anyway, I kind of wanted to sort of draw my own version. Her art style is obviously very different, and just like FYI, what I draw is absolutely not what is going to be on my body. I did ask her to do one change. I kind of want her to like make it a Cyclops Angel. So I was kind of like wanting a Cyclops Angel because I'm a monster. No, but you should get a piece of paper. I should have said this earlier. You should get a piece of paper. If you want to like follow along, like you should totally draw a Cyclops Angel with me and then send it to me, because that's really fun. We're like doing like fan art of Marjo's tattoo that like doesn't exist yet. Time travel. Oh wait, it's a Cyclops. I forgot. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Yeah, I feel like I just really wanted a Cyclops, and some of that, okay, so like stick with me. The reasoning behind this is like maybe like kind of weird, and maybe I made up the reason after, like no, but like I think it's kind of real. So it is a very traditional image, but it's cuter. It's a really traditional image, right? So angels are all about protection. I don't really consider myself Christian. I'm not really religious, but I do have certain attachments to like religious iconography. Like even though I do not quite subscribe to that worldview, there is still a power to these images, and it's probably just like a cultural thing, right? So I found this angel and I was just really drawn to him because he's like chubby and just so happy, and like that's sort of what I want to be. I just want to be like chubby and happy and have sort of like a higher, feel protected. Do you have big wings or little wings? I kind of like the little wings. Maybe I should have done this different. Okay, so anyway, I should like this. Let's see. Yeah, so there's like those connotations, but in this moment of my life, I think I've been sort of thinking a lot about like growth and sort of like what you need to keep growing, because I think that's a lot of people, you know, it's like, you know, how do I not get comfortable? I feel like I'm at like a really good point in my like career and in my life. Like you know, this is like kind of maybe the first year. It's like a part of my life where I actually feel happy, and like this is like really sad, but I didn't feel happy for a very long time. And I think some of that was just finding my place in the world and like what kind of artist I wanted to be and like where I wanted to live and like how I wanted to form my relationships. It's just, you know, it's a lot of that. And so now I'm in this really interesting place, and of course like my brain like can't just be like happy. So getting just a straight up angel didn't feel right at all for me, because I've been realizing that like all my like most like the moments where I felt like I've grown the most have been really uncomfortable for me. You know, it's like dealing with social anxiety, it's dealing with my like psychological health, it's dealing with you know, like people who just aren't healthy for you. Should this person have like a little, I don't know, should he have like a little like mullet? I'm really into mullets. I just shaved my side of my head recently in a fit. Not really, it was like me just chilling out to music and it felt really good. I'm thinking a lot about discomfort and this idea that like, right, we like really get out of the way of it, because a lot of times like discomfort is something that we don't have control over. And for me, it's like, yeah, like all the wonderful things and like all the wonderful people in my life have been because I've like really tried to push myself, just socially and like outside of my like normal comfort zone, basically. And so I want to be healthy. I want to be like, I don't know, to like people to care about me. I want someone to like look out for me, which is like, you know, totally goes hand in hand with the whole idea of the angel. But I also want some discomfort, because I don't ever want to stop growing. And I just feel like if the angel is a little monstrous, or a little unnerving, like, this is dumb and like maybe it's like silly, but right, I feel like I always get tattoos. Like I have a lot of eyeball tattoos on me. Like I have one on my wrist, if you can see that. I have like a little, like a kind of like a sillier one on the back of my arm. Like I have, like, I used to not put tattoo faces on me, and now I'm kind of obsessed with like the eye, and just because it's like all seeing and like in a weird symbolic way, it feels like it like has my back. And so in the same way, I kind of wanted this like protective sigil in a way, but like a protective sigil where like it's gonna be a little chaotic. Like if this little angel was like a real entity in some way, that like maybe he would like let me struggle a little bit, or like push me over the edge and maybe save me just in the last minute, so I could just continue learning lessons, you know. And some of that's just like not being a perfect person. Wow, I could have done this pose better, but we're just chatting. Yeah, so he's gonna just be my like little protective asshole, basically. This is the thing. How does the Cyclops, do they have like one eyebrow? Like how do you emote as a Cyclops? Hey, the heavens came back. Nice. Yeah, I don't know how they emote. I don't understand. I guess like if they had a skull, it would just be like a giant gaping hole in their head. Excited to like ruin my life. All right, so that's done, and now I actually have to go and get the tattoo. Wish me luck. There she is. Hello. Hi, Noodle. Wow. How long? Wow. What a baby. What a beautiful child. Na, 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 na. She doesn't like it when I touch her stomach. All right, I'll leave you alone. I'll leave you alone. I love you.
Know about this?
Wow. It's so cool. I love it. And I like it in the center too. Like I was kind of like, I don't know, what if it's too
symmetrical or anything? Yeah, but eventually you would have had to like get something there.
Wow, so I am so tired. I just got back. The tattoo took so much longer than I thought it was gonna take. It ended up being 3 hours, and I love it. Like, I love it, but wow, it hurt so much towards the end. It's actually, like, I think it actually hurt the most at the end, as like almost than any tattoo I've gotten so far. My fault partially. I did not eat enough food before this. I did not. I just got home. I haven't even taken all my stuff off because it's just, I'm really tired, and I'm really surprised that I'm this tired. But like Margot, which her name's Margot, I don't know why I was calling her Marjo, that's not even a name. She did an amazing job. Like, she thought it was gonna be like a tiny tattoo, and I definitely underestimated how large the space on my leg was in terms of like making it work with the other tattoo I have on my leg. So she did a lot more work than she expected, which is okay. Like, obviously I paid her for it, and I think she really enjoyed making it because she really loves sort of cutesy, creepy things. I'll put the final sort of photo of the tattoo here, since I think all the video you're gonna see is it upside down. And it's, you know, it's all wrapped up and ready to go. Speaking of it being larger, so I went across the street afterwards to wait for my car home, and there's these two old dudes, and I think they were drunk, and they're like, what is that? And I was like, I thought they thought I was drinking on the street because I still had my can of like energy drink with me, and I was like, oh, it's just like an energy drink, and they're like, no, that on your leg. And so I was like, oh, it's a tattoo, and they're like, whoa, and they're like trying to see it, but it's wrapped up. And I couldn't quite figure out what they were saying, but they're like, whoa, like, you gotta like fill your like leg with tattoos. And this one guy was like, oh man, like, yeah, your legs are like billboards, they're like big. But I think he meant it in a good way. I think, you know, they were basically like the two old guys from the Muppets, and I think they meant it in a good way, like a weird flirty way, but it was definitely like very neggy, and like they were negging me about it. Which, I don't know, like, flirting 101 for anyone of any age. Like, if you like women with, like, big legs, like, don't compare them to billboards. Like, honestly, like, I feel like it's so overdone. Like, the whole, like, oh my god, like, her, like, legs are, like, tree trunks. And it's, like, I mean, there are, like, big, beautiful things out in the world that I'd rather have my legs compared to. Like, maybe, like, the night sky. How about, like, the rolling, beautiful ocean? The endless hills. I don't know. Are they I don't know. I'm so tired. But anyway, they were, like, weird neg flirting with me. Nothing like two old men, drunk men in the dark, negging me. But anyway, I just got some food, and I'm probably going to sign off until next time. I wish I could be more vivacious in these moments, but I am so, god, it hurts so much at the end. It was crazy. Like, I was gritting my teeth. I was doing like birthing like to get through it. Like, it was
something else, and it wasn't Margot. Actually, it was like a specific kind of shading that she was using. So most of it was like her touch was like light as a feather. Like the whole time I was like, wow, like she has like a gifted touch. Like even like the line work was almost like pleasurable in a really weird way. But towards the very end, and I can normally tell, it was also, it took so long, it was like 3 hours, right? And so I can tell that and I've got enough tattoos where I can tell sort of the timing in terms of how it feels. So like for me, the first 2 hours are like super chill, like it hurts but in a good way because your body's like really excited, and then after you kind of run out of endorphins after the sort of those 2 hours. And so I know I was hitting the 2 hour mark, and normally that's when a tattoo that size ends, but I think Margot is really kind of known for her like heavy shadowing, like, what is it, shading, what's wrong with me? Yeah, so it took a little bit longer. It's totally worth it. I love it. It's so cute. It looks like something like my grandmother would have embroidered on like a pillow if, you know, she was into like little like mutant babies. It came out very good, but I was so tired, and I looked at the clock after and I was like, oh my god, no wonder I've been here for like 3 hours. And she was, I didn't even like go into this, I mentioned earlier, but like she was using this kind of shading called, I think it was whip shading, and I could tell I went from like her soft touch to just like, I just felt like she was like digging into my leg, and it was a kind of shading I've never really felt before with anything else. And when I finally looked at the finished product, like I could tell it was like this beautiful like stippling effect, and I guess that's called whip shading. If it's not called whip shading, I'll like put it right here and correct myself, but it's a much more, it almost has like a texture, like a sort of a grainy texture to it, and it came out really well. I love it. Anyway, I'm fading. I'm gonna watch like a dumb show, like, not a dumb show, but a relaxing show like Amazing Interiors or The Great British Bake Off. I just need to like sit and be mindless, and god, my body is so, it's just like oozed all of its endorphins, and I'm just like okay, so thanks you guys for watching. I'll be back soon with another video, and excited to see you. Have a good day, bye, or a night, bye.